On the Caribbean Sea, a happy family is spending their vacation in a fun way on a yacht. Mother, Julia, jumps into the water to swim, and when she is trying to relax, she feels something strange. But she doesn't see anything around her, so she takes it as her imagination. A few seconds later, the same strange feeling comes back again. She still doesn't see anything, but this time she gets scared and starts swimming toward the yacht. Suddenly, something grabs her leg and starts pulling, and she screams badly. Her daughter Cassie cannot hear her because she has headphones in her ears. Her husband Tom and son Ben are busy fishing. Julia keeps trying to avoid going under the water, but because water goes inside her mouth, it becomes hard for her to scream. After a while, Tom realizes that Julia is nowhere to be seen, so he searches on the yacht and finally sees his wife in danger. After calling the children, Tom takes the yacht near Julia and jumps into the water. He quickly reaches Julia and holds her so that she keeps floating. Then the two of them swim back to the yacht, and the children help them climb up. The family comforts Julia, but Julia cannot understand what happened and takes it as the water current of the waves. That night, the family celebrates Ben's birthday with gifts and cake. Cassie gets a call from her boyfriend, so she goes outside with her laptop to talk in private. Her boyfriend shows her that black and thundering clouds have come above the city, but the video call suddenly starts breaking and stops. Cassie quickly returns to her family and tells them what happened, but Tom says that because they are far from land, the network signal is not good. At the same time, they hear a sound and go outside to see, and they find that a group of whales is passing. Tom explains that whales follow Earth's magnetic field, but when there is disturbance because of a storm, these whales get confused and go toward the shore with the storm. Suddenly, the yacht starts shaking and Ben falls down. Tom suspects that maybe the yacht got some damage, so he dives to look below. After searching for a while, Tom comes up with a deep injury on his shoulder. Julia stitches his wound, and Tom tells that he felt something was behind him, and when he turned, he got hurt by the propeller. Whatever was swimming near him was very big, but he could not see it. Tom also finds that the yacht has been seriously damaged, so now they will have to call for help. Julia keeps trying from the yacht radio, and Cassie searches for a network on her phone, but nothing works. Suddenly, Cassie gets scared when she sees a strange creature, but it is only Ben joking while wearing a mask. Finally, the yacht shuts down and gets stuck in the middle of the sea. Julia hears a voice on the radio, but it is only unclear noise. Tom says they have food and water for 4 days, so they will have to wait for some fishing boat. Suddenly, the radar detects something nearby, and the family hears a strange sound. They rush outside and are shocked when they see many meteors falling on Earth, making big explosions. One meteor falls in the water nearby, so Tom tries to move the yacht. The engine slowly starts moving forward, but then another meteor falls and shakes the area. The family, scared, holds each other tightly. Tom suddenly understands that these fireballs are not meteors but satellites. Then Ben points out that smoke is coming from the yacht. Tom sees and finds that the engine has completely burned. The wind also starts blowing stronger, so the family hides inside. They don't realize that the compass has gone wrong. The yacht shakes again, and Ben falls down once more and gets injured. Waves are hitting the yacht, so Tom puts effort and brings life jackets from outside and gives them to the family. Then the electricity goes off. Tom quickly presses the button of the power box. As soon as the light comes back, Ben notices that Julia's nose is bleeding. Julia starts to feel dizzy, and Cassie goes to the sink and vomits. Tom keeps trying the radio again and again, but nothing happens. Suddenly, the family hears a very loud, sharp sound, and the wind blows even harder. Julia tries to keep the doors closed, but one hatch opens, and soon the wind breaks the windows. Tom lights a flare before the darkness. The next morning, the family wakes up in shock and realizes that they survived the storm, but the yacht is almost destroyed. The family goes outside and is shocked to find that all the oceans of the world have disappeared, and now the yacht is stuck on land. Looking at the desert, everyone goes silent. The family wonders what to do now. Cassie searches for a network, but nothing works, and Ben plays with 2 dead crabs. Tom checks the compass and sees that the poles have reversed. The last time this happened was 700,000 years ago. Cassie realizes that maybe her boyfriend is dead, and she breaks down. She runs to hide and pushes her mother Julia away when Julia tries to comfort her. Meanwhile, Julia and Tom check the remaining supplies, and Ben ties his birthday balloons to a rock, hoping that maybe some other survivors will see them. After this, Tom tries again on the radio and makes contact with a man named Now. He is the captain of a submarine. His submarine is also stuck on land, and he confirms that the magnetic poles have reversed, because of which the oceans retreated and lands got drowned. Now says he has not found any other living person, and that most communication systems have shut down. He also says that sometimes there are tremors in the Earth, so he believes that the poles will flip again and the oceans may return in a week. Now advises the family that they should go as high as possible, because when it happens, the situation will become very violent. His companion had died during the collision, and the submarine has space for only 3 people. Julia and Tom convince him to save their children, so he gives them his location, coordinates. Tom calculates that it will take them 2 or 3 days to reach the submarine, so he tells the family to get good sleep because they will leave early in the morning. The next morning, the family is packing their things when Tom sees some movement nearby. It is a limping man who has a temporary harpoon, spear, and a dog that keeps barking. Tom goes to him and gives him a water bottle, but the man does not understand his language. After drinking water, the stranger hits Tom with the bottle and kicks his face. Scared Julia comes running, but by then it is too late. The man has already stabbed Tom in the stomach with the harpoon. Tom's body shakes for a few seconds, then the man also cuts his neck. After this, the man starts chasing Julia and even throws the harpoon, which only cuts her shoulder. Julia does not stop and immediately runs to the yacht. She reaches her children and tells them to hide and locks the door. The brother and sister crawl under the sofa and Julia gives them a flare gun. Then she hides in the bathroom with a knife. The man keeps hitting the door until it breaks, and he enters inside. He picks up some food and searches around the yacht, finally reaching the bathroom. Somehow Julia escapes through a hole in the wall. The man looks outside but cannot see her. But when Julia secretly tries to run, the dog notices her and barks. Suddenly, the dog jumps on her and knocks her to the ground. Julia has no other choice, so she kills the dog with the knife. The stranger hears the dog's cry and comes out to find its dead body. Seeing this, he breaks down. Meanwhile, Julia quietly climbs up the yacht to go inside through a broken window. But unfortunately, the man has already found her and punches her down. When he tries to drag Julia, she holds onto the furniture to resist, and during the struggle, she kicks him away. Then the man steps on her hand so that she drops the knife. He grabs her hair, smashes her face to the floor, and then throws her on the sofa, starting to choke her. The children are watching all this and cannot tolerate it anymore. Cassie comes out and shoots the man with the flare. Fire spreads immediately, and the yacht starts burning. The children run outside, but Julia goes back, kicks the man in the face, and takes the map and bag. Ben and Cassie cling to their father's body, and soon Julia also joins them so that they can all say goodbye together in tears. Just then, the terrifying man comes out of the yacht. The family starts running, and at the same time, the yacht explodes with a loud blast. Sometime later, the family stops at a small waterfall. Cassie thinks that maybe the crazy man came because of the balloons, which makes Ben feel guilty. Julia explains to her son that it was not his fault and tells the family to keep moving forward because the stranger is still chasing them. At a small pond, Ben is shocked to see the corpse of a hammerhead shark. At the same time, Julia sees that the man has again reached near them, so the family starts running again. They go down from a dune and find a pile of toxic waste, so they carefully go around it. After a while, it seems like the pursuer has been left behind. As they continue their journey, they see many more things on the ground. Big dead sea creatures and all the plastic that had come up from the deep ocean. When Ben starts walking slowly, Julia notices that he is in a state of dehydration. She tells everyone to stop, but to her fear, the water bottle is almost empty. Cassie realizes that maybe she had not closed the lid properly. Julia shouts at her for carelessness, but Cassie says it doesn't matter because anyway, their survival is impossible. After a lot of screaming and arguing, the family moves forward. Finally, they find a crashed airplane and get scared by sudden movement, but it is only birds. The family decides that they will spend the night inside the airplane. They share some food, and Julia breaks down when she finds a family photo in Tom's jacket. Cassie asks how her parents met. Julia tells that Tom came to the hospital where she worked and became her patient. Tom had confessed his love with flowers and a beautiful poem. In the middle of the night, Cassie goes outside the airplane to relieve herself. Suddenly, the terrifying man surprises Cassie from behind, but Julia jumps on him first and repeatedly stabs him with uncontrolled grief and anger. Cassie tries to calm her down with a hug. The next morning, the man's body is covered with fleas. The family notices that there are many bite marks on him, which means some animal is hiding nearby. As the family leaves, a bunch of crabs crawl out of the man's mouth. A few hours later, Julia and Cassie stop to look at the map, but Ben keeps walking. Julia tells him to stop, yet he desperately puts his face into a pond and starts drinking water. Julia quickly pulls him out and explains that unknown water can make him sick. The family continues their journey and covers their heads to protect themselves from the burning sunlight. Ben starts to feel dizzy, so when they find some old chairs, Julia and Cassie use them to make temporary shade. Julia gives Ben a medicine injection, and they all decide to spend the night there. Early in the morning, Julia wakes up after hearing strange sounds. She steps out of the shelter and is shocked to see that many crabs are coming toward them. Julia quickly wakes up the children, and the family starts running as fast as they can. They see a big cargo ship and run toward it. 3 crew members are still alive. The woman wants to help them, but the 2 men refuse and lock themselves inside a container so that the family cannot get in. The crabs get closer, so Julia lifts her children onto the container. When she starts climbing herself, the crabs bite her leg badly. The siblings pull their mother up and save her. There is a hole on the side of the container, and half of the crabs crawl inside. The crew members shoot, but the creatures are too many. Soon the crabs kill 2 workers. The last man tries to reach the hole on the roof, but the crabs pull him down and kill him too. After this, Julia bandages her leg wound and faints. Sometime later, she wakes up in a sandstorm and finds herself alone. She panics and goes out to search for the children, but first, she picks up the weapon of the dead woman. Hearing her mother scream, Cassie quickly returns and tells her that they went out to look for help, but found no one. Then they meet Ben too, who has found an open container where they can rest until the storm ends. Julia uses Tom's lighter to burn and close her wounds, which is extremely painful. After the storm passes, the family finds many water bottles in another container. After that, they search the bodies and find a radio and a gun. Julia calls Now and tells him that she lost her map. In reply, Now tells her that he was attacked by arthropods, creatures from the abyss. It seems oxygen made them crazy. Now tells the family to hurry because his instruments have calculated that the ocean will return faster than expected. They have only a few hours. He fires a flare, and the family starts walking in that direction. After a long walk, the family finds a broken toilet, and Ben urinates in it. Finally, they see the submarine nearby. But to reach it, they must cross a giant rock formation. As they make their way, the walls start shaking and rocks fall, causing a big landslide. Julia quickly pushes the children to safety and steps back herself. Now a wall of rock stands between them. Julia tells the children to go ahead without her, but Cassie refuses and insists that her mother must try to climb. After much arguing and shouting, Julia promises that she will meet the children later. Reluctantly, Cassie takes her brother and goes ahead. The children climb the rocky slope and run toward the submarine, but they find Now outside, covered in blood. He says his end has come and the children can take the submarine. Realizing there is extra space, Cassie goes back to find her mother. Meanwhile, Julia is frightened to see the crabs coming and starts shooting. She kills some, but the swarm is too large. Just then, Cassie reaches her hand over the wall. Julia climbs quickly, and with Cassie's help, she reaches the other side. Together, they run toward the submarine. Ben is already standing on the roof, shooting to distract the crabs so that his family can climb too. The crabs reach Now's body and immediately attack it. Julia keeps firing with the gun and sends the children inside. When they are safe, Julia realizes that the bullets are finished. She throws the gun at the crabs and also goes inside. The family makes sure that the hatch is locked properly and looks through the window to see the crabs surrounding the submarine. Suddenly, the ocean returns. The three of them quickly sit in their seats, fasten their belts, and hold each other's hands. The violent waves shake the submarine strongly. Julia sees all the past events in her mind, and Cassie vomits. Soon, the same high-pitched sound returns, and the family loses consciousness. Sometime later, Julia and the children wake up and feel relieved that they are alive. They open the hatch and come out to find that the waves have left the submarine in a destroyed city. This means there is still hope to survive and to rebuild life again.